Hello everyone, my name is Aussie Hornet. Welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. This might be the longest episode ever, episode 5. This might be a 3-parter or a 4-parter, depending. But this might be the longest episode I have done to this point. So we are just going to go to Rise from the Ashes, Day 2. And yeah, let's get to it. Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there? Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called out to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with a piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. Oh, he's back. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, he'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was young, at least. Officer Marshall. Thought I'd come to take a look, see at how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They got the home range locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. It's hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. What? At the award ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? The photograph taken at the crime scene. She wasn't wearing a scarf. So, the star wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I could hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. Well, thanks for popping in, Marshall. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. Oh God, you are handsome! I mean, what's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be, this can't happen. I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continue on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. But this is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock. Who's there? The hell? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Oh, it's you! Sorry I'm late, aren't you? The rooms were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, eh, Audrey? How you been? Swim much these days? Oh, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy snizzy. Audrey, my boy, you have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed. Audrey? Seems to be a nickname for Judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Aha! So you're Righto, the attorney I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about a little wordy giving you all that trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometimes. Jolly. Little wordy? Mr. Wright. Should I know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. Name's Gunn. Damon Gunn. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's my sister's muffler. So Star wasn't just saying things. When the crime occurred, Miss Star really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Woody's car, no less. Hello? It's really quite embarrassing, even for us. What's this? It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
Objection!
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? And now, wait a minute, Waddy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document, where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking the signatures there. Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had... No, in the clouds, because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
What? Are you serious?
Don't be too upset. I'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gah!
God accepts this new evidence. But I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at this blade from this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes. Well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Alright.
There's a small tag on this knife. Seems to say SL92. What does that mean?
Well, I read something similar. DL6 of DL6 incident fame.
But it's strange.
Huh? What is?
I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters like that, looked a lot like this somehow. Don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade. Your tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood?
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us? About the split between the prosecutors and the police, and this knife. Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. Alright. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. The detective was killed at the police department. See? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked to this case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That hush-hush information, Aji. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Objection!
Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Wait, so there was 2 murders?
Order.
Anyway, we are at the department. We're all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department's situation. Well, Mr. Wright,
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my rights to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Alright, here we go.
Hold it!
Excuse me? Special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing need this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Righto. I can't say that now, not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something, a muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman.
Hold it!
This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that goes on in the apartment I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto. How does that link this knife to Detective Goodman? I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all this time. So how would things down at the department? That tag looks very similar to that note.
Objection!
Wait a second! At last! An honest-to-goodness objection! This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? Aha! An honest-to-honest, what do you mean from Aji? This is great! Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important. Why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7S 12-2? Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside. The printed name on the memo makes it look like right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? There we go. Oh! Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. That's so annoying. That's the same thing that is written on the knife's tag. Order. Well, Chief? Well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evident in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Hold it!
So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder.
Whose evidence, you say? Was it, in fact, a murder weapon?
Nice! Good show, little buddy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder. And it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation.
Hold it!
Something happened at the police department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes there, Righto, my boy. Sharp, hungry.
So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed?
Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy. What with Lana's case and all?
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day?
A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess.
Hold it!
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Archie?
I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto.
I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Okay.
So, when did the murder at the police department occur? Oh, that's a sharp question, Righto. Very sharp. Well, my boy, you're gonna love this. The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh?
Hold it!
5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office.
What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time? What are the chances?
Coincidence? This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Chief Gett, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this case here, so I can't talk much about it.
Hold it!
How can you say there's no connection? Oh, because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand?
Try to understand, Righto.
Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that ties the murders together?
Whatever it is, I better find and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office, and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence. And that knife. What was it doing there? I better check this knife out.
So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
The evidence room? Wait a second. I have heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. The link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details.
Chief, the defense position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room.
Not to mention the victim had on him the case number on the knife's evidence tag.
And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here.
Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information? Unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What? Really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay?
Hold it!
If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, guess I might as well try to get what I can get. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It is not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. That's the exact number. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. Didn't even get the first number right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? The ID number of the victim, the police department, 5842189. This tells me something. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? It's the exact same ID number.
Take that!
Witness?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
Is he really? No, it's just, I got confused.
And this is news?
Huh?
Just come out with both guns blazing, like you always do.
Police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Rido! Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait! That ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82.
I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right. Again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
Wait a second, Wright. What does this
mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Rido, sharp as a tack.
But wait! Detective Goodman is our victim! He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot!
Yet a detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time.
Objection!
That's impossible! So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time? And in a completely different location?
This is really confusing.
Order! Chief, what does this mean?
Objection!
No. What I want to know is, why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case.
Oh, just wait a second, Wordy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or did you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours.
What? How did...
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you to the news.
Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha!
Excuse me! My name is Mr. Edgeworth. Anywhere in the premises? I'm here, sir! At the request of the chief, sir! I got your report, sir!
You don't mean him?
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Victor Bruce Goodman met in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report.
Gah! Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Woody.
Objection!
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then
No such luck this time, Woody. Or should I say, unwoody?
What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's,
Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job.
No.
Edgeworth is losing it. He has lost it. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Woody. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do.
I better get results this time, really.
You owe my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I'll grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. Well, that was a mess.
Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot in the police department's evidence room.
What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by the car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least.
Alright, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in the evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
The oil drum, was it empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says she don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away.
Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
The situation calls for one thing, and that is...
luminol testing fluid.
But luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
We're testing bloodstains with the stuff, not drinking it.
Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things?
Whoa. To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol oil on it.
Like this, see? Oh, okay. Press enter to spray it on.
Okay, let's find some blood stains.
Okay, this is really cool. Okay, looks like we're gonna find some blood here. Oh, we found some. We found some blood. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a blood stain?
It's so...
Oh, you're shaking.
It's just... this is my first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this, scientifically? Why do bloodstains located, of course? It's elementary.
Huh? Why is that elementary? I mean, I would think that if there was a fight, you'd expect some bloodstains here.
I suppose you might think that.
Come on, Mr. Wright. We're all counting on you.
There's something odd about this bloodstain. But if it's not the location of the blood, then maybe it's the amount of blood that's odd.
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole on the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange.
They fought here. There'd have to have been more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright.
I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find the bloodstain, okay?
See? I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah, and the stuff pretty handy too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that.
Okay. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court.
Sometimes they will fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case.
So let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah. It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious.
Huh.
Oh, she's back.
I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Mister. Really trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. The stay-at-home deli box is on the house.
Sorry, it's just that kind of lead and doesn't really get my mouth watering.
You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
My apologies, Miss Starr, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault.
Oh, we know.
I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that I was convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that... I'm sorry.
Sorry?
You lied in the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Look, girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor's guy stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman.
I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what?
So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal when they faced me. They coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
I confessed. They babble like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Right there, I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cuff-Up Queen.
Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go, fine?
I thought that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident.
SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean...
What do you think about this? The SL9 incident? It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective in that case, you know.
Really?
That knife was evidence for that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transfer the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected. SL9 isn't over. Not yet.
You think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident?
I had one of those up until 2 years ago.
Back when you were the Cuff-Up Queen, right? You found this ID card here in this parking lot.
Oh, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's.
But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department.
That's impossible.
I wish I could be so sure.
If you think about it, I could have taken that picture in that guard room. But even I got flustered sometimes.
So you went straight to the scene of the crime?
I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's why I took this photo, yes.
In other words, 5 minutes after the crime?
Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony, as it were.
5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem.
Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time.
That time?
That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. But nothing's disposable.
Disposable? To who?
2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence.
They didn't solve it?
On the contrary, it was solved quite clearly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Executed?
Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
On the basis of evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence.
What?
You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved in the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job.
And you were one of those?
Myself and one other person you know well.
Wait, could it be...
Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I.
You haven't forgotten SL9?
There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us.
Wait, those lunches you sell.
There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate.
Still old boyfriends.
How many does she have anyway?
Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence.
There has to be a connection. So, Rookie.
What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Yes.
Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister and made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. This place is charged with frantic energy, as always. Please. Huh? Wasn't that?
One steak lunch, please.
Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe.
There's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking.
Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence.
The criminal? You mean...
You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal?
On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Yeah, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy.
But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. But wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figured he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. The fuck? What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me? A perpetrator? I say, I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh, it's Meekins. Hi. Hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I got a report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little less patrolman, like a little less lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, is he... You, Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? Oh, fucking hell. Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir! What? What? No, this is an unexpected turn of events. Fucking hell! Patrolman with General Affairs, sir! Sir! Ow! I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir! A suspicious person! Ah! What the heck?
heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red, blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir? Fuck! Stop using the megaphone! Fucking hell! Please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir! You have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir! And label me victim! I would, but you would happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he lay heavily on the total stranger side! So, you didn't know him? Sir, I worked in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature forms. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir! None! Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir! At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you say, sir! Don't you think you should just confess? But there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked in, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shark! Oh, the sorrow, sir! Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's what? My hand was a blank until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card was the cause of it all! This ID card? Exactly, sir! That's exactly it! Nothing can be more exact, sir! Nothing! I better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sorry, I might say I'm a little less patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know who was the Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Now that sounded pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! What? Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leaped at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Don't want you to honest before they are to you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, aye, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if his body just disappeared from the evidence room,
We don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir, on that day at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime! My crime! The crime! I swore to stamp out! It's there! It's me! It's on tape! And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. I guess we better go check out the crime scene. And dude, you need to calm down with the megaphone. I can hear you loud and clear. Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there's anything missing? Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers. Lockers, garbage cans, bags, coats, pockets, hats. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha! Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, were they? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they had no end of trouble with the boys since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sitting in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court you fixed it, so he was caught for forging evidence. But wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of a turmoil, you might say. Why, they did just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Woody. But what? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto. I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. I'm not expecting much anyway. You know one thing, I hate most of all of its hiding stuff secrets. Can't stand them. But, you know. He was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Whoops. What he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Oh, sorry you had to say that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. They wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21. Better make a note of that just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Can I just point out this music? It sounds like you failed the episode. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room.
Oh, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50, I give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. This goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. Just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Looks pretty cool on my label, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir. Because, sir, we got to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have this ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader is turned off, I see. What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bambina sky so gray? Oh, hey, cowboy. Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my salute. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw. That card you got there on your chest? That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little dogies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. Oh, yeah, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. Here's your steak. That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? Filet steak lunch? I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Alright, Bambino, you win. Ask me. He's just chowing it down. Anything. Smack. Well, it seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, I might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? Don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know. Miss Starr told us something. He said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It's always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole into a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyway? We've heard your name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambino. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of that case. That's right. The evidence transfers. That's what was talking about the transfers too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and the machines, well, I like them about as much as I like the stewed cauliflower mistakes. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. These evidence tapes are automatically erased few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon there might be. Has security got any reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina. I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this, 5842-189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look at the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room? Oh wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me! If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I could give you this ID card record. I got an idea. Maybe I should share this list to other people with IDs here. One more thing, the transfer. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presided detective supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the country sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. It still smells like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Oh, hey, Gumshoe. Whoa! So sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So Chief of Police Garrett will loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about? Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day? But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're a boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want me to have this.
I knew it. This is someone's right handprint.
What?
What's the matter, detective?
This locker. It's mine.
It's yours?
Please, you have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans.
Counting on you guys. Believe me, you can trust the police.
What? But you're a detective. Damn. There must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. Not professional. What's your opinion, detective?
Pale blue blood? Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien?
It's proof that something really happened in front of this lockup. I'll make a note of it on the floor plan.
Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe, your boss for today?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again?
I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence blocker, pal.
You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course. I'm a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today.
I see.
I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case.
This place is more high-tech than you might think. The locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it.
Using their ID card?
Well, that's the thing, pal. The ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor. And if the wrong person touches it...
Is that, you get a shock?
If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of those pieces there?
Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in for whatever it was broke. You want to try putting it back together?
Ha! Good luck, pal. There's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Oh, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. There we go. I am so good at puzzles. There we go.
There's a missing piece. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with.
Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kinda understand how it got broken. Okay. Oh! There's another hand here. Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door.
This just might be something significant.
Hey! That's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminal testing fluid.
Where did you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief.
Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order.
Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans.
Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing.
Oh, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number!
It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth!
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth!
What? How would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room?
Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. Brett Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone.
Because of the SL9 connection?
That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared.
But why would evidence for that case turn up now?
I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case.
Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe?
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That evidence from the case, you know.
You mean SL9? It does have a tag.
Now that was a bloody violent case.
Violent? So it was a murder?
A serial killing.
A serial killing. Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all.
But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. And started a rumor mill.
Rumors? Of forged evidence?
It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see?
So, that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself?
Hey pal, look at the time.
Was this something you needed to be going to?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to give them my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems?
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he could use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Ah, guess. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Right.
He has the hotel bring him sea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
I am.
By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Oh, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow.
The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So how did the inquiry committee go?
Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however.
Something happened?
They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Triple Police again. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still...
Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Oh, right. Better check this now.
As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage?
Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true.
But why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that.
I was asked to go.
By Chief Kent, no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed.
The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
Now I'm curious about this other case. Better make a note of it.
Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. The man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
You must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
This 09 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant.
That wacky old creep was involved in the case 2 years ago, true then.
He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Ah, you got nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is, why was the deputy chief of police on the investigation?
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed.
Wait, you didn't?
Of course not! I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science...
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminal testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints?
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprints files for everyone involved.
Thanks. I'm giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. An investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, there's blood in the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. I'm starting to get that sparkle in our eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With that, let's see. Ah, looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, it just blows away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to though. It's fine, it won't go up to your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I better give it a try. Aha! You did it! You found one. But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left his handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like there are fingerprints outside of the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside of the blood. Oh, we're getting there. Fuck me, Yay! A print so clear, it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's patch it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Now, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would most likely find on this evidence locker? Let's see. I don't think it's... I think it might be Gumshoes. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. This This is where we got a luminal fluid reaction, right? Right. There was a handprint here. Okay. Wanna try using this? Your eye sparkling again. Yep, let's check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? You only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints? Say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Alright, here we go. Doesn't seem enough. Must be enough on this side. There might be more on this side. There's a fingerprint. Alright. Could it be Jake Marshall's? Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Ooh. That's gonna be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints. What a white blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Ooh. There's something suspicious about that cowboy. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Sorry for ending it pretty short, but I heard this was a very long episode, so yeah, this might be a 4-parter. So anyways, if you guys liked the video, please sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of these videos. Until then, take care and goodbye.